Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today it is that pesky driver side rocker panel. Let's go. Rocker is out. The new rocker is in. And when I say it's in, I'm using that term very loosely. I've got a lot of work to do right here to get that to fit. This rocker needs to come up and roll towards the passenger side. Got a pretty good gap right here. This thing was kind of a pain in the ass to fit. I ended up making a slice right here and a slice at the bottom. Peeling this section out, there's a tab on the inside. I guess it would come down right about here. So you kind of got to wedge this in, and I couldn't get anything to move forward. So I cut that tab off on the inside. If I have to weld a new tab on, then so be it. But I can't fit a rocker if we can't even get it on. So today, that is my task. I'm going to hammer and dolly this the best I can. Try and get this to fit a hell of a lot better. But at least I know where I can start working at. As you can see, this thing just kind of shoots up that way. I think I am pretty close to start doing all the prep work to weld this rocker in. We've got pretty good fitment there. This definitely looks a lot better than what we started with. Right in through there. So I'd like to try to get this out a little bit more, but we'll see what we can do there. Goal for today. Let's get this rocker in. Once this rocker's in, man, then we can start moving forward with the inner lower cowl. Get that in, or toe board in. Then we can finally dry fit the floor. We got an area basically from here to here that I'd like to get this section to pull out a little bit. We've got good fitment here, pretty decent here. This back, I don't know how well we're going to see this. This needs to roll over yet because I split it there and I split it on the bottom so I could get this rocker in. If you go on the factory side, these things are far from perfect. Where the rocker meets the quarter, this section is out, and then the quarter drifts in, and then the rocker protrudes. So we got the quarter protruding, we got the rocker protruding. So am I going to get real nitpicky on it? No, I'm not. We're building a driver. That's exactly what we were doing. I just wanted, all I wanted to do was put a floor in this thing. I just want to get this thing put together and on its chassis, but I don't want to hack it up either. I'd like to do the best I can, but I'm not going to spend hours and hours trying to get one little section to line up better than what the factory did. Okay guys, I've been working on this rocker for probably the last 2 days, trying to get this thing fitted. I have got hours into this thing. The rocker's been on again, off again, on again, off again, trim here, cut here. What a pain in the ass. My question for you guys that do this, the trickiest part about doing this rocker for me has been right here where this quarter panel meets the rocker. There's a flange that comes down and goes on the inside opposite of this. How the hell do you get pressure on this to get this tight? My first thought was, well, we'll go underneath, because this flange right here is where it's going to be welded. And I thought, well, I'll come up from the bottom, I'll put some holes in the rocker and I'll weld it from the bottom. But that's just a pain in the ass to do, to drill holes. Everything's in your way. I went to Harbor Freight and I bought a couple of these big ass clamps, but how do you get in here? You know, I could take the window track and everything out, but you don't have a lot of access in here. You have one here, you have one here, you have one right here. So I've got everything clamped. I've got that flange on the inside of that quarter panel the best I can get it, and I think we've got a pretty decent gap here. Come back. That doesn't look too bad, I don't think. So you can still You can see daylight through here with that light on. Well, actually, this part right here, there's a piece missing on that flange on the inside. So I'm only going to be able to weld to like right here. So I got online and I was looking at what other guys are doing, and nobody really shows it. And there was a guy, I think he has a place called Allison Customs or something like that. He was doing a 66 Chevelle for a customer. And he was putting a rocker on, but I didn't see how he did this. And somebody in the comment section asked about this section, and he goes, you can access it from the top, or you can weld this seam together and make it look seamless. Well, for one, my welding skills aren't that good, so I'm not going to do that. And then if I did do that to this side, I'd have to do it to the other side, and I don't want to do that. But how do you... Let me get up here. See if we can get down in here. Right now I've got a piece of 3/4 by 3/4 ground stock with another piece of, I don't know, must be 1.5 by 3/8 stock sitting on it, just so I can try to get something to clamp and put force down on it. And I still can't really get a bite because there's no room. You can see this clamp. I mean, that thing still moves, and I'm about as tight as I can go with it. So if you guys know how to do this, obviously this will already be done by the time you're watching the video. But somebody tell me, because I am baffled on how the hell you get everything tight. Like out here, I mean, it's pretty obvious. So I would imagine that you would want something like this on the inside. So this is where a lot of my battle has been. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the welding gun in this pocket, and I'm going to pull the trigger, and it's going to be what it's going to be. And then when I'm done, get out of here. Then when I'm done, I'm going to take, when I go to seam seal every other seam in this car, I don't know if they do it from the factory or not, but I'm going to run a bead of seam sealer right through here. I don't know of any other way to do it. I'm mystified. A buddy of mine that come over and helped me get this thing put on, because I couldn't even get it, I couldn't even get the rocker on the car. So we did a lot of work in the back area here just to get the rocker on, and then he left the rest up for me to fit, which is fine. I'd rather it be that way. I try not to ask for help if I don't have to, because I want to learn how to do this. But he was saying he's got a 64 Galaxy, and his quarter panel comes down and is actually part of the rocker assembly, and I think the rocker would just stop right here at the door. So I don't know how the hell GM did it. This panel right here, it couldn't have been in. It had to be out. There's no way. So I don't know. We're gonna hope for the best. Alright, well, we're hoping for the best. Wish me luck. Expecting the worst, but hoping for the best. I'm going to jam this gun in this pocket, we're going to pull the trigger, and we're just going to see what happens. I'm tired of paralysis by analysis. I don't move forward thinking that way, so we just got to go for it. I don't even know why I'm going to put this helmet on. I probably can't see in there anyway. I was happy to see the door went back on. Always a bonus. There is quite a bit of work that's going to have to be done. These gaps are pretty big. Same way on the passenger side too, but I need the lower part of the door to come in. And with these aftermarket hinges, I can't. Because we got to grind this away right here on the hinge. There's interference there. So as you can see, that door, well, maybe not. The door needs to come in. It needs to drop down a little bit. And then the back of the door, actually the door needs to move forward as well. And back here we need to move forward just a little bit. Right up here we need to move up. But I do like that the rocker is fitting pretty decent. Alright, the door is back off. The rocker is welded on. Shot it with some black primer. Some areas. I don't think it turned out too bad. I don't think it turned out too bad at all. So, we're going to call this section good. Now, I can get in here. I can get this all fitted, get it welded in, and start working on this toe board. And in the next video, I think we're going to be putting the floor in. Alright, that does it for this episode. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next one.